Cool, hey guys, today we're having a little look at some really nice Gibson Custom Shop guitars that I picked out when I went to the Gibson Custom Shop at the tail end of last year. I was really lucky to be able to go through basically guitars as they were being finished on the line and choose out some amazing stock. I thought we'd just show you through a few of those pieces and just talk about why kind of I picked them out. And you know, we've got a few demos coming up that I did, and then we're going to link off to the listing videos that Jack's done as well. I know there's a few pieces here that you're liking, Jack.
Yeah, there was.
Start off with that little DC Junior, eh?
I have to say, it's probably my favourite of the bunch, because you don't see juniors very often.
No.
And they've really nailed it for this year, I think. So this is a 60 junior in a sunburst finish, which again you don't see very often.
No, they're normally kind of cherry or TV yellow or something like that.
Yeah, and you see a lot of single cuts as well, and the double cuts are my favourite. And you've played this as well, haven't you? And just every time I've picked it up, it sounds mega.
It kind of brings out the best and worst side of your playing, doesn't it? Because it kind of makes you really try and be on it, but it does kind of reveal.
Well, it's just a sound, isn't it? It's just a sound, and you've got to do everything else just from those two controls. And you know, it really picks up kind of the intricacies of where you pick as well and how hard you pick.
Yeah, and like when you roll it back, like I bought a single cut junior for myself while I was over at Gibson, and it's got like when you roll it back with a tone up on full, it sounds like just a super huge telly almost. It's got that real clang to it, but if you crank it and roll the tone back a smidge, it's almost gets into that PAF type sort of tone, doesn't it, as well?
Yeah, and I love that they resisted the urge to go nuts on the Relican as well. Yeah. It's just the right amount of kind of, there's maybe a tiny bit of checking in there, but it's
a good example of their standard VOS finish, isn't it? Yeah. But it's some nice detail there. You can see it's got the more natural back, if you can get that up on the camera there. Natural back, but with like a burst on the front.
Yeah.
Which looks really cool. With a tortoiseshell.
I'm glad we started there, because that is my favourite. So.
This was another one that was an absolute no-brainer from when I saw it. This is a 57 Les Paul, but in an amazing new gold top finish that they've been working on called Heirloom Gold. This is the closest that I've seen to an original gold top finish, where you really see that green kind of sludgy moss swamp colour, the pigment that's in the gold finish. Aside from the fact that it looks amazing, it's got a lovely big neck on there, and it just sounds super duper thick as well. You can really hear that in the video when you switch between all the single cut humbucker Les Pauls. You can really hear how much beefier this sounds than than all the others. I always find that with gold tops. It's just a big neck and just a really big tone. Slightly heavier, I would say, probably half a pound than a lot of the burst guitars, but I actually quite like that, because I always think the heavier ones do sound a little bit better. I'm not talking about like 10, 11 pound beasts, but something that's got a little bit more weight to it than the average burst, just generally sounds a bit chunkier and a bit beefier. But yeah, absolutely killer looking guitar.
Brilliant, isn't it? Loads of nice checking on there as well. something a little bit different.
also on a green theme. This one is Antique Metallic Teal 61 SG, but with a really nice checked paint finish on there as well. Again, you can feel that one there, Jack. Nice, really nice weight. Yeah, sounds great as well. It's cool to see that they're doing a few more different things in the SG range. It's really cool, almost like pearlescent finish.
But they're just so nice to, again, it's like the Junior for me. It's refreshing to play something outside of the Les Paul.
I mean, and plus I love cherry SGs. White SG's cool as well, but it's nice to see some extra stuff there.
Absolutely. There's a really nice blue as well, isn't there? And I think there was did you get a gold as well?
Yeah, the gold's gone now already.
That flew out, but this is not going to stick around for very long either.
Moving on to a really nice 59 that we've got here.
So there's a bunch of these in this Royal T-burst finish, which is not something I'd seen before.
No.
I think it's really nice. That's kind of the perfect marriage of all the typical burst colours you'd see, I would say.
Yeah, it's like, that colour is just like a really good prime example of one of the best iced teas that I'd seen, but they're doing it consistently now in this colour, because we could have a large batch of guitars come in and the bursts all look slightly different even when they're the same colour, but they've kind of taken all the best elements of the iced tea finish and applied it to that one.
And great flame on there as well. Again, it's not over the top.
Right, let's move on to this slim-necked wonder. So this is a 60, absolutely outrageous top. Again, it's you know, a lot of people go on about the 60s having that real, oh, you know, they've got super thin neck, you know, I can't get on with them and stuff. But whenever we do get a nice 60 in, we always sell one straight away. As per my good buddy Steve Burrows bought one off us on Saturday. It's got the really nice reflector knobs on there as well. I actually really like the 60s. If you are a single coil player, you really like tellies or strats, and just find that a 58 or a 59 Les Paul is just too much of a tonal departure, where you plug it in and you're like, wow, all this bass and low end, bottom end response is just too much. A 60 is a really great option. You know, and it really reminds me of that really bitey, early Clapton type sort of tone.
Yeah, it's a nice midpoint, I think, because you can see where they were going into 61 with the SG body shape, that kind of tone as well. It's got a bit more like you said, of that mid-range sting.
Yeah, it's got a real immediate attack to it as well.
And I would argue that's not a tiny neck.
No, it's not at all.
Maybe by you know, if you played it immediately after a 58.
Yeah, I think if you was, a lot of people know the 60 neck as those like mid-90s Les Paul classics that had 1960 written on the pick guard there, and the really slim necks on them that were super flat on the back. This is kind of, it's basically just like a shrunken down 59 profile, isn't it? They've just taken a kind of a little bit out of the shoulders.
Just a little bit flatter, yeah. No, it's lovely, and the reflector knobs look cool as well.
Yeah, I really like them. This is generally kind of what we always try and keep in stock at Peach when we have our really good selection of custom shop Gibsons, and we've got a really great working relationship with Gibson now under the new management, a really great bunch of guys, and we've always done really well with Gibson Custom Shop stuff. So if you are looking for a really nice Les Paul, SG, Flying V, Explorer, you name it, we've either got them on order or in stock. So, and
there's going to be even more cool stuff coming from NAMM as well, isn't there?
Absolutely.
We're really impressed with the output of Gibson this year. So yeah, keep your eyes peeled.
But yeah, so check out some of the tones in the videos. If you've got any more questions, please let us know, and we'll speak to you soon. Cheers.
Thanks, guys.